Who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This is legit paranormal vacation planners. Brought to you by Legit Paranormal. Brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It is like a Tuesday. It's like a Tuesday, oddly enough, which usually on a Tuesday, nothing really good. There's nothing to do on a Tuesday. I digress. It is July 26th, 2022. That's 07262022. Let's see. 3 2s equals 6. There's 7 numbers on the board. That's the 7. Bang! Hope you math geeks like that. I did that instantly. Joining me always, Buddy, Money, Thayer. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, Mike. How you doing tonight?
Good. Did you just see that math geek thing I did on the fly?
That was crazy, Mike. I was listening. I was looking out at the view. I was blown away by both, Mike. It just
I can't believe that nothing's changed in your background. Like not a ripple of water.
It moves every now and again. Every now and again, you'll see a bird fly by.
I haven't seen a single bird.
It's very still. It's a very still place, Mike. That's why I like it. It's very peaceful. It's very calm.
It's kind of scary. So let's bring the intelligence level up a notch again.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's
There's Elise G. What's up,
Hi.
Elise?
How are you guys?
Hey,
I'm always impressed with the math. I'm a math person myself.
I hate math.
Do you like Sudoku puzzles?
No, I don't. That's
Oh,
funny
come
because I like, you know what I like? I like the jumble words.
Oh, I like those too. I play Wordle every day. I got a 96% hit rate.
See that, buddy? Right there, throwing down already. See? So, seeing how it's the middle, well, it's the end of July, and
Already.
we're in the thick of summer. This is summer. And when I think summer, and I think back as a kid, summer was always highlighted by the fact that my dad worked for the state to get that 1 week off, and it would be either the last week of July, first week of August. And in that week, we would have certain places we would go on different days, right? One of them was we would go to the track. That was my favorite day. And we would go and sit outside and watch the dogs. And my dad would let me bet on the dogs. Like I'd pick a dog game like that. We'd bet on the games. Like that's how we bonded. But I digress again. My other was Rocky Point. So that was like to us, my family, that was like a once a year as kids we would go to it. We never went like more than once. Just weren't that kind of family. So it was like a once a year type trip. Other than the bathrooms that had an inch of water at all times, which I use as a term now. Whenever I see somebody has water in their bathroom, I'm always like, "What's this? The Rocky Point bat?" Because that's how bad it was. Other than that, and the fact that kids used to jump off the sky lift and then climb down the wall, right? So, but I used to love it because they had the giant Alfred E. Newman miniature golf guy that sticks straight up in the air, right? You had the Enterprise when you first came in, which was like for my brother's age, that was the coolest ride. That and the Music Express.
Yeah.
And all the toys that you would win, if you guys remember, used to be roach clips, but they would have feathers on them. You're like, I want the thing with feathers. It's a roach clip.
It's a hair clip. Yeah, it's a hair clip, Mom.
Did you guys go to Rocky Point when you were younger?
Yes.
I didn't go a lot. When I was younger, we used to go to Lincoln Park and Crescent Park.
Crescent Park, yes.
Yeah, we were the other end of North Providence, so we'd hop on the highway and head east.
I still go to Crescent. That's the one that still got the carousel, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And you can throw the rings into the clown's mouth.
Yeah.
Have you guys done that? I've done that. And then whenever there's a face painting person, I always get my face painted. Every time. I don't know why. It's just like I'm like.
You get the stars, Mike.
No,
you get the stars on your cheeks.
I let them do whatever they want, and I always say one thing: make me look somewhat like a pro wrestler. That's it. Don't go any. I don't want to be like the god of like tulips. Just make me look like a wrestler. So, speaking of amusement parks, that's what I think of this time of year. That's what I'm getting at in my long-winded speech. Amusement parks. That's what summer's about. It's about getting everybody in a hot car. Well, it used to be. You know what I mean? And you drive up someplace. You keep asking if you're almost there and your parents would yell back at you because they had no clue. There was no GPS.
Be putting all those kids in that bench seat, everybody sliding across, and then dad would rock.
I can't even believe sometimes when I think about that, the way they used to just drive to trips like my dad. I mean, yeah, what do you have, a map in my mom? That doesn't work. That's not GPS. I don't think that qualifies, buddy. I don't think that would make the grade. I mean,
I don't think so.
Mom.
I remember riding in the back of pickup trucks. I couldn't even fathom doing that anymore.
Let me put it this way. I remember not wearing my seatbelt all the time as a kid. Like to the point where I have a fond memory coming around the corner of this block, I fell out of the back door of the car as my mom rounded the corner.
That explains a lot.
My mom proceeded to pull the car over and throw me a beating. I look back on it and I laugh to this day. Like, she's throwing me a beating because I fell out of the goddamn car. It's like, Mom, show some responsibility for this. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to say, like, you made this. This has to be part your responsibility. But I got thrown a beating. Buddy, what are you moving? What are you moving?
I'm sorry, I had that. My wire was.
Was that the wind?
That was the wind, Mike. The wind just. The wind just.
I can feel it. I can hear it.
Weird how you can move the window still. All right, so if we want to go, and if we want to send somebody on a trip to an amusement park, right? I think that's a great trip to take. That is my thought process. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? Elise, what do you think about a vacation trip that involves? I know there's not going to be relaxation, but there would be.
There are some people that head out every single year, every single summer, the beginning of the summer, if they're lucky enough to have, a month or so off, that just travel from amusement park to amusement park, riding all the roller coasters or playing all a certain game. And they make a big thing out of it. They want to visit everyone in the country. You could do something like that.
Yeah. See, I have that same thing, but I want to go to all the professional football stadiums.
I know who does the baseball stadiums.
That would be one I would want to do. But so the amusement parks. Now, the biggest amusement park I can think of when I think of amusement parks, it literally goes from 3 up. It would go Wally World, Six Flags, Disneyland. Right. One of the 3 does not exist. But I know of it so well that it does exist. You know what I mean? Kind of.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kids. Park's closed. He was some fucking fun. So Disney World, Disneyland. Help me with this now, Elise.
I don't know. I get them mixed up all the time, and I was like, people are either Team Disney or Team Looney Tunes, and I was always Team Looney Tunes. So.
All right, but that's Six Flags. Buddy, where is Disney World?
Disney World is in Florida.
Okay.
Disneyland, where we're going this evening, is in California.
Okay.
All right, California.
World has Epcot, Universal.
Universal.
The safari stuff.
Universal isn't connected to Disney technically.
No, but they got all that stuff down there.
Love them. I love that place.
It's just Disneyland out in California. So
I love Universal. My favorite part about Universal is you ever go on the King Kong ride?
I don't remember which one. I got whiplash in Universal.
Yeah, you will.
I did. I literally got whiplash. My arms were numb. It was scary.
So going up the King Kong ride, they blow banana smell. I couldn't. Blew my mind. I remember dying laughing. I'm like, what is that I smell? I swear to God, I smell. Is that bananas? And it's like, you can hear them roaring as you're making your way up the
I guess
ride.
I didn't go on that. I would have remembered that.
Bananas. Yeah, I thought it was either a nice touch or a really sick touch. I could not figure out.
You know what I really remember is the Mummy ride, and you went under this fire, and it was really, really hot. It was pretty scary.
Elise, here's my Mummy ride story. So, I don't want to go on any roller coasters. I don't want to do anything that's going to go drop fast. I'm not doing it. I wasn't feeling it.
Right, and you can't tell from the outside what these things are like.
The wife's lying to me. She's telling me, it's just a ride. It goes around. It's fast. It whips.
The video screen. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm going to go on this. But I'm telling you, like I said, I'm telling you, if this ends up wrong, I'm not going to be happy. And then I had to use my thumb to get a locker, my thumbprint. And that freaked me out more than anything. So now the conspiracy theorist in my mind is going off. Disney now is building a version of me, and I'm walking into the ride, because that's what they're doing. They did. So I get in the ride, and just a lap bar comes down, and I feel somewhat confident because there's no of those straps come over your shoulders and shit. So I'm like, all right. And at least all of a sudden that door opens up and there's fire, and the whole car turns.
Yeah.
And buddy, you don't go click, 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 click up. You go whoosh, and you're gone for the ride.
No, thank you.
And then they make a fake stop where they pretend you're going to get off, but there's no exit signs. There's no place a person could stand. And so the minute they make the fake stop, my wife's like, we stopped. And I'm so mad by this. Listen, first of all, what I don't want to admit was I had snot coming down my face. Like everything on my face let go. Like that ride scared the shit out of me. Like I was just terrified.
Scary, I gotta say.
But when we stopped, she goes, "Oh, we stopped," and with such bitterness, I was like, "It's part of the fucking ride." And then all of a sudden, boom, we were going again. I got off that ride. I swear to God, like I thought it was great for the thrilling part, but dude, it scared the crap out of me with the fire. There was so much fire. It was just so fast.
Yeah, insane.
That's how I know I'm lame. Like when that story comes up, I know I'm lame. I just could not do it. All right, so, buddy, where would you rather go? Hollywood? I mean, Disney World? Disneyland?
Oh my God! Well, being a Harry Potter fan, Mike, I haven't been to Universal yet. The last time I was down there was when Epcot Center opened in 1988, so it's been a while. So I think I would go personally to Disney World because I'd like to see all that. But Disneyland has its, value, I guess.
So what are you trying to say? Disneyland is just Disney by itself. Where if you went to Disney World, you'd have more parks and stuff to do.
Oh yeah, way more parks, dude.
But Disneyland was built first.
Yeah, 1960-ish.
California
50s,
one?
Early 60s, yeah. Anaheim.
Now, didn't Walt Disney spy on people by moving around in the buildings that they claimed weren't buildings?
Walt Disney actually had an apartment above the firehouse, which I'll get into in a little bit. And this is allegedly, actually, I've seen documentaries on it, so I know it's true. There's a whole tunnel system under the Disney. Same thing with the Florida one. There's a whole tunnel. It's a whole city under there.
So, first off, before we get people to and they can see the number across the bottom of the screen if they want to call for a trip, we'll book it for them. The whole thing with Disney has always scared me. Like people that really like Disney, I don't know. I have a hard time with it. Like I said the other day, I would never wear a Goofy T-shirt. Like I'm not wearing a shirt that says Goofy. And I question people that do. It's like I get it. I get the joke for like 2 seconds. But then you're still wearing a shirt that says Goofy. You know what I mean?
A lot of them are obsessive, very obsessive about this stuff. Everything's got ears. Everything has the Disney font. Yeah.
It's a little scary. It's a little scary when some people lose themselves in the Disney magic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like they become enchanted with Disney. Oh, I got to go back to Disney.
Kingdom.
Everything is Disney. Disney's like Google nowadays, though. They own everything.
Yeah,
I know. But there's nothing like a $25 medium Coke. Oh. You know what I mean? Like, oh God, they put so much ice, there's barely any soda. But it's worth the $25 that you have to go on a loan with. But all right, buddy. So tell me about why they should go to the California version. You guys must know.
We're going to look at California this evening, Mike.
I just said that.
Yeah.
Didn't you hear me say California version?
The California version, yes. It's the original version.
There too many birds making noises behind you, bud.
I have, yeah. The birds are chirping, Mike. I can't make out.
Try to listen.
I'm enamored by the loons. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. So we're going to California, right?
We're going to go to California. Like Florida, it's sunny. It's the original Cinderella Castle, I guess. it's historic, if you will. Maybe I don't know. Why I don't know, because it has. I'm going to California for a reason, Mike, because it has certain value for the show. Why don't you tell? Aren't you supposed to talk about the values of going to Disneyland?
Oh, I wanted to know why you wanted to go.
Oh,
I didn't
because
know. I didn't think that you could
That's why
figure
I
out.
wanna go.
I didn't think you were not going to be able to figure out how to answer that question. I got to figure out a way to give you a button that's like a pass. Like if I get you confused, you just hit the thing. At least answers the question. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to bridge this, but I'm asking a question and you're not answering what I'm asking.
I get what you're both saying. He wants
least-
to know what a trip to Disneyland has to do with this show and what it has to do with the things that we discuss on this show. And he wants us to tell him, or doesn't want us to tell him, that Disneyland is reported to be haunted.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Oh, so you get me to talk about how great Disneyland is what you wanted me to do.
Uh-huh.
And then you're going to tell me how bad it is again. I thought we talked about
We
this
don't
from
think
the
that's
last
bad. You
episode.
think
Not
that's bad.
necessarily
We don't
bad.
think that's bad.
Yeah, how long was that meeting we had, guys, about this? Like the last couple shows, we're not selling anything because every time I try to book a place, you keep saying it's haunted. All right.
How we book places now.
We got to be honest, right? We got to be honest. We got to let everybody know. So, okay, I know it was built way back. I know that Walt Disney is not like God, man. I don't know if I'd want to meet him. Let me just put it like kind of like that. Like from what you read about the guy, not a fan. So I'm just not. I'm not.
Not a great man.
No. So, all right. What do we need to know about this place? Because this place, I mean, they have incredible rides. They do have the characters still. I mean, it's a lot harder.
Space Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, the original one.
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
I say Caribbean, Mike.
Elise?
I've always heard Caribbean.
Ah,
Never been there, so you can't go by me.
Pirates of the Caribbean. That's how I say it.
Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean.
I never say Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That doesn't sound
Whatever.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, I digress again. Back to that. Yeah, there's plenty of those rides. You're right, buddy. And the characters. When I was a kid, seeing the characters was great.
And larger than life.
around.
They're huge. They got big old ears. Mickey Mouse.
No, you don't see him really.
It's
He's
fun,
hard to see. You have to wait in line for him.
25
Mickey
for
and Minnie.
Coke, 30 for some ears.
Yeah.
I think you buy a t-shirt.
But you'll
Main
see like
Street is nice. The electric light parade. I remember that they do that in Florida as well. That's beautiful. That's nice.
yeah, they do it every night.
Town feel.
Yeah. It is the perfect like fake child experience that you could make.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, I think that maybe if you're a kid, you get suckered in by it. But as you get older, when you realize just kind of how fake it is, it kind of scares you. At least it scares me a little bit. I don't like when it's like I didn't like going to what's it, Plymouth Rock? You go to Plymouth Village and they pretend like they're still stuck in like that century. And you say something stupid like, "Where can I get a Coke?" And they're like, "What's a Coke?" And you're like, "Oh, this. I'm not doing this." You know what I mean? With my temper, I'm like, "I'm not doing this." Like, where's tell me where the pilgrim is that talks. Like, I gotta go speak to him. You're not gonna help me. Anyways, all right. So, buddy, tell me something. Tell me about this place. Tell me about what you've heard. About
What I've heard. One of the most pretty good ghost stories. As a ghost hunter, you often look for like if you can like connect somebody that actually existed in the past. So one of the biggest ghost stories at Disneyland is like I said earlier, the apartment above the firehouse on Main Street in Disneyland. It was known as Walt Disney's apartment. Now, right after he died in 1966, right after he died in 1966, there were several reports of workers there going in, turning the light off, the light being flipped back on, and saying, "I'm still here." So ever since that time period, they always leave the light on in the window upstairs on, always, because of that one encounter that was so popular right after Walt Disney died. So you can go on tours, I believe, at the Disney Suite. Honestly, I'd love to investigate it, but who knows? It's
Elise, the other Disney, Was Disney World built before he died?
I don't know. Buddy's saying no.
No. All right. So all right.
I don't know. I went there once in like 1980. So
He doing a great job promoting, Elise. I've been there once, not in the 80s. I don't know. Yeah, that's a great. We should put that on our cards. Yeah, we've been there once in the 80s. I don't know.
I'm not a Disney fan. I was like a bored teenager. I got to Florida finally for the first time in my life. It was 33 degrees when I stepped off the plane. I was like, "What's the big whoop?"
Oh, that sucks. You got gypped.
Yeah, I did. I got gypped.
But so he never went to Disney World, is what I'm saying. So he would never have really a physical imprint there. But
No.
in Disney, however, in Disneyland,
Yeah.
he built it. So
And
if
then
he's
he
going to
got
be attached, if we go by our paranormal lingo in mathematics, if I look up on the paranormal scale and chart and spin things, it should mean that he would be emotionally attached to this one. Correct?
Well, he'd be able to leave an imprint because he was physically there. If you believe in the survival of consciousness after death, I mean, his consciousness. I mean, he could probably travel to Florida. Why not? He's a ghost.
So that's one imprint. Second,
Imprint.
there's the imprint. What did I say?
Oh, yeah, you said imprint.
Oh.
I was verifying what you said.
Oh, imprint. And the second one would be just like a ghost. Like, you know how they say when ghosts don't want to leave?
Right.
Certain ghosts just don't want to leave? That's different, right, buddy, than an imprint? So
Yeah,
now
right.
Would Walt fall into that category?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
if
Walt?
you're saying, hey, I'm still here, leave the light on, then yeah, I would take that as an intelligent.
That would have a consciousness. Yeah.
So it's not just an imprint. It's not like he died there in some horrific death. It's that was what he built. Like that's where he stood or whatever and spied on people. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's supposedly very hands-on. Well,
I
when he
can't
was
say
alive,
that. I can't say that he spied on people. I know he was anti-Semitic, but I don't know much more about him.
Yeah, but he was born in what year?
Oh,
Don't
God.
guess. Don't guess.
Turn of the century.
Don't guess.
I'm going to
Say
say
don't know.
1900. If I have to guess.
I'm just
What?
saying.
So
I bet
when
he
did
was.
he die? When did Walt Disney die?
When was he born?
66.
That's more important.
Wait, let me
Born-
see.
It's more important when he's born.
He was born in 1901. He died in
All right.
1966.
Look at that. 1900.
So now, born in 1901, right? I know all his beliefs are completely wrong, but what I'm saying is he was
It's
born in
based on the worldview.
1901. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And where you're from and where you're at, and from 1901, a lot of old people have a lot of weird theories still. Like, you know, sometimes you talk to a real old person, they say something out of left field. They're like, holy Christ, I didn't think you were going to say that.
Right.
But they have like old school, they have like old school ways. It's just how it is. So I always get weirded out when, like, you know, we go after people that are born in like 1900 over saying something, although he was much worse. I get it. I know this. I've heard stories about it. I'm just saying in general. I guess I'm sticking up for older people. They just get slammed immediately. And it's like, you got to remember when they were born. I think that needs to be taken into account from now on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't make them right. It just, it puts it in perspective.
It gives you more of a picture of why he's such an idiot or an asshole or bad person. So now, Elise, what do you know about Disney in California as far as the rides, things like that?
Honestly, I don't know a lot about the park itself. I do know there were the underground tunnels that Buddy mentioned that, you know, employees can run around and get from one place to another. Nobody has to see, you know, Winnie the Pooh putting his costume on. Is that Disney Winnie the Pooh?
Yes.
So.
Oh, okay.
Can you picture a bunch of dumb college kids with the heads off, bobbling down the hallways, passing each other?
But apparently, from all the things I've read, they're very strict about their employees. You know, you can't, there's no fooling around. There's no drinking. There's no, you know, like you would imagine it would be a lot of fun. And once you start reading about it, it's very exacting, you know? You're a princess from the time you walk into the.
Oh, but that's different. When it's you. When they can see you, like when a Disney princess is a Disney princess. What I'm saying is, me and Dave always joked about like all the people that have to wear those helmets huddled in like a break room, you know, taking like a hit. Put the helmet on and they're walking on me like, "Hey, kids," and like, because it's like, like what the fuck, their lives are just miserable. You know what I mean? Just
put the music on, and we must be hot in those costumes in that California sun. I can tell you that. Gosh.
Yeah, and how you can't be over a certain height or a certain size or weight.
Yeah.
It's like you just can't fit into the suits. Like you can't be 6 feet tall and fit. I think I'd have to be goofy. So that's my whole point. I'm not, and I would never. God,
so
I hate
Disney's going around preaching to everybody else about being inclusive, but they're excluding half the people who want to work there.
Yeah. Wait, but so. All right. I'm sorry. As I do. I hate Goofy, and I hate Grumpy. I hate Grumpy. I hate people that wear the shirt and it says Grumpy. Like, I don't need to know you're grumpy. I get that's another one. It's just like, dude, that's a bad shirt. It's a bad shirt. It says Grumpy. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, miserable. I'm gonna stop making up dwarfs. I'm miserable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nervous, back pain. So. All right, buddy. Underground tunnels. I guess the biggest story about Disneyland was the alleged connection with the CIA.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that.
Yes. Yes. This is something I remember from being younger. So the biggest thing about Walt Disney was he was one of the first data. How do you guys say that word? I say data. It's data, but all right, data.
No, data was in the Goonies. Data is what you collect.
Data was the little Asian kid in the Goonies. Data is what you collect, Michael. No, data is like what a little kid calls his parent. We're gonna have to really go after this one. But anyways, he was allegedly the original collector of information. Like, he was mining information on people as much as he could. I mean, you guys remember, like, even like Six Flags, when you would come in, they would ask all these questions, and you would get like a card, like eye color, green. Do you remember the old school Six Flags? Like, because I know this so everyone's in line. I used to go with the Murrays, my cousins, and they're asking all these questions. Eyes, hair. I'm hearing all this stuff. I'm a little kid. I'm like 10, maybe 9, hearing all this stuff. And I get up there. My Uncle Jimmy's waiting for me. Now, my Uncle Jimmy was the classic Irish guy. Full Irish, right? Whitest skin, but it was never really white because it was always red from him either laughing or yelling. He had orange hair, right? He ran the baseball leagues in this town, the basketball leagues. Like, my Uncle Jim's a classic, but he can make you a little nervous, right? And I get up in line, and the lady says to me, "Eyes," and I said 2, and that was it. Now, my Uncle Jim couldn't stop laughing. He was pretty much trying to tell my dad that your son's an idiot. Like, he's like trying to tell you your son's an idiot. That's what he just said. That's how he was kind of phrasing it. And I didn't know, man. I never did that before, but I remember they took all that data then. Data. So I know they were known for that. How about deaths on rides? They don't have to worry, right? People, about deaths on rides.
I don't know about deaths on rides, Mike, but there are some pretty funky ghost stories about rides. For example, one of the most popular, when you think of Disney, you think of or Disney World or Land. One of the most famous rides of all time, maybe, is Space Mountain, right? Space Mountain. There's a ghost, an apparition described as a large man with, again, Mike, red hair and a red face. The legend is that he sits in the seat next to single riders, and he's on the ride for a little bit, and then he disappears in the middle of the ride somewhere. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. He just kind of rides with you, and then he's gone.
So, has there been more than one occurrence where they describe the same person?
Yeah.
They describe the same sort of redheaded guy.
Same redhead, same red-faced guy gets on. He's riding 1 minute, next minute he's gone.
So, Elise, would you check the ride to see exactly where they thought they saw the guy, to see what color lights were being used at the moment and the speed they were going?
I'd take a pass on that one.
You wouldn't get on that ride?
I don't like rides. I'm not afraid of ghosts. I don't like rides.
You won't do Space Mountain?
Oh, I hated Space Mountain.
Why?
All I remember is that I had to take my glasses off because I was afraid they'd fly off, and I just rode through the whole ride blind.
Yeah, but that's not that bad because you kind of can't see anything anyways. Like, go ahead, buddy. You got something you want to talk about?
There was an accident. There were a few more accidents. It reported in June of 1966, a teenager tried to sneak into Disneyland for graduation night by climbing the fence and crossing the monorail track. When he was spotted by a security guard, the teenager ran, but he was said to be struck and killed by the monorail train. People have seen the ghost of a teenage boy running on the rails to this day. It's a documented incident, and they have alleged ghost sightings.
Are we talking about that? What train are we talking about? What monorail train?
It's on that track that's like elevated, and it rides around the park.
And rides on one rail instead of two.
How did you get up there?
I guess you climb a ladder, Mike. Maybe you go up some stairs. Maybe there's
No. I don't mean how do you get up there? How did that guy get up there? Why do I care how you get up there?
He jumped the fence, and then like the track was right there.
Security thing.
Jumped on the track. You're running on the track, Mike.
I'm just saying. I thought the track was way above everything, so I'm trying to figure out where this kid's coming from. Like, how high up did this kid drop?
I think.
Parachute in?
They don't say how high the fences are at Disneyland. Unfortunately,
it's quite a jump. Is what I'm saying.
Crazy, but that's the '60s, Mike. Things were different then.
That's true. This is true.
Teenage boy wanted to get in and get in.
That's true. You know what? You can use that excuse though at anything. But go ahead.
Another death on another famous Disneyland ride, the Matterhorn. In 1984, a woman named Dolly Young, in fact, was killed when she was thrown from the bobsled. Ever since her death, cast members and team members who are required to walk the tracks when the ride shuts down say they can hear her. Some people say the section of the track where she died is called Dolly's Dip.
What is the name of the ride?
The Matterhorn.
What's that? What's that?
It's like a I don't know. It's like a roller coaster.
The Matterhorn, a mountain?
Is that the roller coaster? No, that's Thunder Mountain. That's Thunder Mountain.
Space Mountain. I don't know.
No, Thunder Mountain's in the mountains. It's a train in the mountains.
I'm saying in real life, like the Matterhorn is a mountain in the Alps.
So then what is the ride, though, buddy?
I don't know.
So how did you get thrown from it?
You're in a little bobsled, I guess, and maybe you're flying around.
Who the frig is going to get in a bobsled?
I don't. It's
in California.
And back in the 60s, when the guy had one tooth and he's strapping you in, you know what I mean? As he completely reeks of booze and everything else. Those guys are always like, no offense. Hey, no offense to carnies or guys that operate, carnival rides. But, if I told everybody to close their eyes and I was like clown, ghost, carnival ride worker, we'd all have the same picture pretty much in our heads. So it's kind of the same person. It is what it is. He loved Bon Jovi, loved Van Halen. You know what I mean? Didn't really like Poison, and then like Motley Crue when he was out. So, buddy, what is there anything else?
There's more, Mike. There's more. Ironically enough, the haunted mansion is indeed haunted. It has two ghosts that are seen on a regular basis. First, was the first guest that stayed. It was they built the mansion in 1963, and soon after they had a few guests stay in to test it out. One of the first guests to stay there died of a heart attack while in the premises, and people were known to see her ghost around the premises. The second ghost didn't die there. Was a little boy had died. His mother had brought his ashes to Disneyland, and without the permission of Disney or his people, spread the little boy's ashes around the haunted mansion, and the little boy's ghost is seen running through the haunted mansion to this day, allegedly.
All right. So let's start with that again. There's the little boy whose ashes. Now, what was the guy? What was the one before that?
The woman construction began on the mansion in 1963.
Yeah. Okay.
They did a test. The first woman to test to stay there died of a massive heart attack.
All right.
Don't know if it's related.
And then, all right. First, I'm gonna call bullshit on the ashes. The fact that you can take the ashes and sprinkle them there, and then the kid exists there. Like I'm gonna call bullshit on something because there's no parameters. Like people can just say anything now. I took his ashes, I threw him in the air, and now he flies around my house every day. And that's it. That's as plausible as what you just said about the other thing, going to Disney World, right? Secondly, if you were a ghost, I would think you would have some self-respect as a ghost, and the last place you would ever go is a Disney fake haunted house.
Right.
Why in God's name would a real ghost want to be there? To walk around and be reminded of like the fact that like we're a joke. We're a joke to these people. Look, they're all lined up. It doesn't scare. Hey, look, they see us in the mirror. They see us in the mirror. Hey. You know what I mean? I don't buy it. Elise, your thoughts on that?
My thoughts. I went to look online, of course, for some video of, real true evidence of these ghosts in Disneyland. What I did find is there were some videos of ghosts that went viral at Disneyland. There was also a statement by a filmmaker named Christopher Cantwell that said that he made these videos, that they were just a promotion for Disney, and they just let them run with everybody believing these recent hauntings in, let's see, I forgot, I lost my place over here, but Space Mountain, Tower of Terror, Haunted Mansion, and they were doing actually videos in front of the closed caption television. They were acting out things. Wow. And the closed caption television was catching them. They were putting them online and letting people think the place was haunted.
Ugh.
I mean, not the ones in the 1960s, obviously, because that wasn't a thing back then. Before like the 80s, basically, to become popular, to have a haunted place. But yeah, there have been a lot of fakes. They're done in the Disney tradition of living in fantasy land, where
I mean, I know that Disney World had someone die on their
I'm sure that people died there.
On the free fall. That was the I think it's called like the aftermath, the slingshot. But they've died. There's one died on the slingshot. They've died on that drop. They've died on the Superman ride at Steel. There's been a death on the Superman ride. They don't talk about that. There's the Matterhorn listed, like you said. The sailing ship, for some reason, there's been a death on that. I don't know how that happened. And then one of the worst deaths was the extreme in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is different. But that's one of those decapitation ones that drive me just cringe. Like the idea that someone's coming down a roller coaster and there's enough of a chance that a head could get hit. You know what I mean? Doesn't even make sense how you build that. The fact that you're hoping that that someone doesn't show up with a gigantic head. You know what I mean? Imagine that they're watching in line, and your job is to check heads. You're not seeing how tall they are. You're just going.
Speaking of heads and speaking of Disney.
Yep.
Isn't Walt Disney's head supposedly frozen somewhere?
Right. Under Cinderella's castle, I think the legend
goes. And he died in 1966. Did they freeze him back then? I didn't know that cryogenics was a thing back then.
I don't know.
Or did they just put him on ice?
Right, maybe. I don't know.
I'll have to look that up.
And the thing is, they say too that he's frozen there until technology and science can come up with a way to reattach his body. This is what I read, so that he can be alive again. And
he was only 65 when he died.
He wants to be alive in hopes that everyone will have the blue eyes and the blonde hair and the white skin. That's what he's thinking. He's going to come back as an evil Walt Disney. That will be the spin on this. Because if they really do have his head and they really do connect it, there's no way that's a good person. There's no way. There's no way you can put a head back on a body and hope that it's good. Especially if it's Walt Disney. Like I said, born in 1900. He's going to have some crazy thoughts. Yes. I would not cryogenically save my head. Never. If I was asked, I'd say no. Buddy, would you?
I might just for the hell of it, but
Shits and giggles, that doesn't count.
yeah.
All right.
Just
So
I would, yeah.
let me ask something. I believe more when there's multiple sightings of these ghosts as opposed to like the one-offs, obviously. But then I sometimes worry about the whole copycat syndrome. And like if Buddy saw something and somebody bought him a Sears poster that supposedly looks like a background, then I might want to say something so that somebody might buy me a Sears poster that supposedly looks like a background. Do you know what I'm trying to say with that? Like what do you call it, metaphor?
It wasn't from Sears, but
Is that a metaphor or a simile? I get those confused.
I think
One of the two.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the two. So, all right, Buddy. Other than that amusement park, what other amusement parks? Do you have any others you suggest?
I do, Mike. There's one out in Ohio. Give me a moment. I gotta bring up my notes here.
Yeah.
Ohio.
This one was interesting.
Yeah, this was definitely interesting. It's out in.
I know Canton's got the Football Hall of Fame.
It's in Mason, Ohio. It's called Kings Island Amusement Park. I picked it because it had a fun name to it, Mike.
There you go, Kings Island. All right, I'm with you.
It's a lovely place.
What do you like about it?
It's been open since 1972, and
the 50th anniversary is this year.
Yeah. And
by the way, I just typed into Google the word K, and Kings Island came up.
Kings Island, yeah. It's like
what I'm saying is I'm using Google. I'm trying to tell you, I'm typing into Google on another screen. I didn't tell Google anything about Kings Island.
The robots are taking over.
It's the ghost.
Listen to me. Good, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's the ghost. Yeah, it's a beautiful amusement park. That also, this story. It's not just alleged. It's like for real. They built the park on a graveyard. It kind of has like poltergeist movie type origins to it here. I don't know. I'm liking it. As a ghost hunter, I would go there in a second. But
really,
imagine how many people you're gonna piss off by building an amusement park above where they're buried. I don't know. There's 39 graves, I think.
Wait, so I know they have a live entertainment venue, and they have the worst name I've ever seen for a water park ever.
What's the water park? What is it?
Oh, it's Soak City. Soak, SOAK, Soak City with a C. CITY water park. Soak City.
All right. I ain't gonna play Soak City.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Which is weird because he also was in The Sopranos. Moving on. Now it's $145 for a gold pass, and then it's $250 for a platinum pass. I don't know what they do that's special. Daily admission is $50, and a 2-day ticket is $90. Bring a friend tickets, $39.99. So I guess you'd want to go with a friend.
I want to see some ghosts for that price.
Yeah, you just might.
What do they have for? I'm looking for rides and experiences. That's always a good place to start.
I see Soak City.
All right, I got to share this because I don't like it already.
Tower.
So check this out. This is now. You guys give me your opinion because people on roller coasters should look like they're on roller coasters. Can you see these people right here? Does anybody look terrified? Can you see them? If you look close, buddy, I tell you, they're like, yay. No one's hands are up. Do you notice that? One guy
like off to the side like that.
The guy in the orange is lounging.
Yeah.
While the guy behind him is sitting up laughing.
Right.
Then there's the Aruba Tuba, which another dumb name. By the way, the guy that came up with the names for the ride should have called us first.
We could help him.
Tuba.
The Aruba
I guess
Tuba.
must be for the kids. The backlot stunt coaster. Maybe it's not for the kids. I don't know. She's just going to tip people over. The Banshee. Oh, here we go, guys.
Banshee. Woo.
That is paranormal. If you hear a Banshee, doesn't that mean that death is coming to the
Sure.
Isn't that what I mean?
Yeah.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah.
How about?
Must
All
make
right.
you sick.
All right. I thought I was wrong before, but Boo Blasters on Boo Hill.
I'm gonna skip this one.
Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. Listen to me say that sentence. Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. Mike, where you going? Oh, I'll meet you over at Boo Blasters on Boo Hill.
Get beat up. That's for sure.
Doesn't that sound ridiculous? Hey, where's Buddy gonna be? Buddy? Buddy?
I'm not going to Boo Blasters, Mike.
Buddy's at Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. Holy Christ. Character carousel, guys. Charlie Brown's wind up. I probably go on that.
Way too much alliteration going on at this
Oh,
place.
Coconut Cove. That looks like
Congo,
fun.
Diamondback. The Diamondback. That's a snake.
Delirium,
Look at that,
yeah.
buddy. Drop Tower.
Delirium.
Najum, Drop Tower. Oh, God.
Eiffel Tower looks boring.
The Eiffel
Ooh,
Tower.
Eiffel
somebody
Here we go,
else-
guys.
Tower.
A UFO they call Flight of Fear, and the thrill level is at the max.
Whoa.
Wow. So what do they do with this spaceship to make me feel like it's a flight of fear?
Maybe they abduct you right out of the line.
Wouldn't that be awful? Wouldn't it be
Maybe you
awful?
get roped in the ship, Mike.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I was. You know what, dude? That's what I was just thinking.
That'd be scary, dude.
Wouldn't it be awful to show a bunch of people
Strangers would be like, all
closing
right,
their eyes and like
I'm
checking
hungry
their
now.
back, their butts?
Ride
Like,
to
what the frick
five.
is happening there?
No gloves, Mike. Oh.
How was the ride, buddy? I don't know. I don't
even
remember.
spit on
It was, I think it was good.
Oh, no, thank you.
All right. How about in Vertigo, which would be the opposite of what I have, because I don't know what.
What the heck is an invertigo?
I don't know how you can use that word. It's
Is that a word?
You can invert stuff.
Vertigo.
Can it,
Ew.
is that a word? I can't use.
Yeah, I don't like stuff like that. No,
They
they're like,
made it a word, Mike.
Because
It
you
is
use
a
it on.
word
You're
now.
not gonna use it on Scrabble, right? I think people would stop you, right? In Vertigo.
In Vertigo.
All right, little kid rides.
there you
Kiting
go.
in the tree.
I
Ooh,
remind
another,
you.
by the way, you know what I like about this place already? I'm gonna tell you right off the bat. The Peanuts characters. The use of Charlie Brown,
Okay.
the Kite, Snoopy. Look, Linus is Beetlebugs. Linus is Launcher. I love them up. I mean, yeah, I love Muppets, but I love
Mondo
Charlie Brown.
Monsoon.
Yeah, Mondo Monsoon. Wait, like what the hell? Like,
Italians on there?
yeah, right? Do it.
Sir.
Okay, we gotta name this. All right, we gotta name this gigantic monsoon ride. It's gotta be big. Give me a word. Gigantic? No. Grand? No. Mondo. That's
Mondo.
it.
We got to keep the alliteration going. It has to be an M word.
That's it. Mondo Monsoon. That's so awful. But buddy, Orion, Peanuts 500, which will
Yeah, there
pass
you go.
Peanuts Off-Road Rally, Pineapple Pipeline that looks really fake, Pipeline Paradise, which looks really fake too, because I ain't doing that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna stand there on one knee, kid.
I'm gonna break my hip on that.
Dude, I'd look good for 1 second. You'd go, hey, Leprey got it. And that's it.
Bam. On
I
his
really
face.
would. All right, so this looks like a little kid's place. Look, the shake, rattle, and roll.
Snoopy and the Red Baron.
And all the Snoopies and splashes and the surf.
yeah,
Ooh, the surf
blah,
dogs
blah,
is pretty cool.
blah.
All right, so guys, other than the Peanuts thing,
There, Mike,
I
other than the Peanuts rides and the crazy roller coaster rides, there have been some gruesome deaths at this amusement park. You asked for gruesome in the last one. Didn't really have it at Disneyland. We have it here at Kings Island.
Yeah.
In 1973, a trainer in the where was he? He was in the 1976 Lion Country Safari Ranch. He was mauled by a lion and murdered by a lion, and his ghost is allegedly.
wait, during the day at the like people saw it, or was it like he was like after hours?
He died at the amusement park. The occurrence in 1976 when he was killed by a lion. It doesn't say he was killed in front of people. It didn't say.
No, it did. Well, he probably wasn't right in front of people because it said he jumped out of his Jeep to relieve himself.
Oh boy. Okay.
In the account that I read.
That's not the story I'm reading.
So the poor guy just tried to duck behind a tree, and there was a lion. But you had to expect that. It's called safari.
You piss in the car.
By a lion, that's crazy.
You use a Gatorade bottle. He's a guy. Like, come on now. I mean, there's lions around. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have to go that bad. buddy, if there's anything else you would like to continue
This
with.
is 1976, Mike. I don't know if they had.
No,
gateway.
dude. Trust me. 76. It still would not get out P where there's a line.
On what's called as Black Sunday in 1992, a man, a friend, and a security guard
1992.
were
What's that
electrocuted
history?
in a fountain that apparently had some unknown electrical problems. And a woman who was on the nearby flight commander on the ride, she fell out when the electrocution happened. She fell out, or the release in her seat released, and she fell to her death, which is
Some guy got shocked in a fountain.
Three guys died in a fountain.
Three guys.
Three guys die. So this is like a joke. 3 guys die in a fountain, and then some lady gets shot out of another ride.
The flight commander turned to look at the commotion in the fountain and fell out of the harness, plunging to her death. That's what it says in the story that I'm reading. It sounds pretty awful.
Yeah.
3 people die, and another one plunges to their death.
I'd rather get electrocuted in a fountain, Mike, than plunge to my death, to be honest with you.
So one guy got electrocuted. The other guy saw it, went to go help him, went in the water. He got electrocuted. The third guy goes in to help them.
Yeah.
And he gets electrocuted. I guess the fourth guy, there was no fourth guy, thank goodness. Somebody finally learned.
Is this a Polish joke that I'm just waiting for the punchline? 3 Polish guys are working at a water fountain. One Polish guy goes in and gets electrocuted. The second Polish guy goes, I'm going in the water to help him. He gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
Third Polish guy goes, oh, they're both electrocuted. I'm going to go in the water and help them. That's pretty much how it's set up. That's ridiculous. I one time on stage saw my bass player step in a puddle because he was performing barefoot, which in my opinion, he deserves it. And he got grounded by his guitar bass, and he went zap. There was a nice little zap to him. And yeah, electrocution, buddy, I would not want to go any time, anyway. I'd rather plunge to my death.
I don't know. Getting by a lion seems the worst.
No, but I'm a fall and crack on the concrete like an egg kind of guy.
Well, if you like falling to the ground and your head cracking like an egg on the concrete, Mike, then I don't like it.
I'm just saying that's what I would pick.
If that would you would pick, then you could pick this one too. In 1983, a man who was visiting the park. Again, on a grad night, I don't know. People are like under the influence of drugs and alcohol on grad night. Maybe I think I was, but I didn't go to any park. I didn't climb the Eiffel Tower. That's fucking nuts. He fell from the Eiffel Tower and died. And today, his ghost is known as Tower Johnny. That is such an insult on top of like dying from a tower. I'm calling you Tower Johnny. I don't know. That's just
Tower Johnny.
That's awful.
Right. His family's still around, It's not like some ancient thing. That's the thing.
It just happened like a couple 30, 40 years ago.
Well, wait a minute. So the kid died. The kid died from falling from a tower at an amusement park.
He fell down the elevator shaft.
Oh yeah, he fell down the elevator.
And he fell onto the counterweight. So apparently, as the elevator came back down, the weight was going up, and the people could all see him dead on the weight.
Oh, that's even more gruesome.
Ew.
Yeah, that is
traumatized. So a lot of people are traumatized in that one, not just him.
That's not no, there's no fun involved in that one.
That's not a good family vacation memory, Mike.
No amount of Peanuts characters are gonna make me smile enough after that debacle. You know what I mean? So I wonder if they have the Peanuts characters walking around though, because that'd be an added bonus. If I could see Pigpen, if I could meet all of them, except Lucy, I would not meet Lucy. I would stay. I'd purposely stay away from her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't like Lucy. Never did. Even as a kid, I was a little kid. I never understood why she's so goddamn mean. Whatever. I digress. So guys, both of these locations you would recommend. Am I correct? Am I right or am I wrong?
As a ghost person, absolutely. I would go to either one and want to investigate either one. Because, I mean, they see ghosts of little boys and little girls at Kings Island. They have all these gruesome deaths. Disneyland, Walt Disney. I mean.
Kings Island even has one little ghost girl that supposedly came from the cemetery. They really can't place her as being in the amusement park because she looks like she was from the late 1800s. They found somebody around the same age that was buried in that cemetery, so they think that that's where she's from. Little girl in a blue dress.
Poltergeist.
I think personally, for paranormal reasons, that second one, the Kings Island one, seems like it'll be easier to get around investigate stuff because I mean Disney. I mean, you know what I mean. You can't even you drop a napkin. There's somebody that comes up, picks up, puts it. They're watching everything. So I think Kings Island might be a good place as far as like if you want to get on some rides that are really like scary and might fall apart, and you're interested in that kind of thrill, and you're interested in seeing dead people that once were alive that died at that park walk around. That might be the park for you too.
Or dying yourself.
These are all positives, I would think. I don't know. Again, the number scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Please let us know if you'd like us to book you there. Buddy, do you have any final words?
Just Mike, I'm just ending an old job. I'm leaving my current job where I spent all my 3.5 weeks vacation. I start a new job on Monday, and I get an additional 3.5 weeks vacation time for the rest of the year, which is quite lovely to have all this vacation time. Speaking of vacations, in other news, on Sunday evening, we'll be back for Legit Paranormal. We'll sub out Elise. We'll have Joey Paranormal in. We'll be hosting.
You can't sub out Elise, buddy.
We'll be changing them. Rick Secker. He's author, researcher, paranormal investigator, great guy. Just came from Ireland. Has like a ton of ghost stories, a ton of like stuff that he does. He's written a ton of books. This guy's cool. We'll have a good time. Tune in for Mike on Sunday.
Elise, anything you'd like to say before we wrap up?
No, Mike's a great guy. Actually, I have a little part in his Shadow Dimension video series. I forgot what channel that is on now, but you can watch that. You could ask him about that, how to watch that on TV. And I really don't have a lot going on now. It's been so hot all week. I've just been so aggravated. It was such a nice day today. But I'm still waiting to get the air conditioner fixed here. They'll be here August 4th, hopefully.
That sucks.
So that's hence the look. I look like I'm sweating over here. I am. Who did you talk to? What's going on?
So let me explain that before I wrap up. That's actually something I used to say all the time that I get made fun of for. Like I'd be like, "Hey, what's up? Who'd you talk to? What's going on?" Like that's how I'd break it down.
Oh, cool. Look at the back. Wow.
So I got made fun of it so much, I made it my catchphrase.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
That's the only way you can handle things like that, at least. You got to take the bad and make it your catchphrase. You know what I mean? Lean into it. So, guys, what is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, there's a wrestling show. And I would never normally tell people to tune in, but Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who we all know from the WWE, retired. Had to step down, but completely retired. So he's no longer part of the company. This will be the biggest show me and Joey have ever had, breaking this down. And I look forward to it. And then, starting on Thursday soon, we will be starting up again Legit Fantasy Football. The stakes are so high this year for that show. The Fantasy Football League for that show has one great champion and then like 11 mediocre players. So we're trying to figure out a way to get better players in the league. Right, buddy? You agree?
Oh,
as one of the mediocre teams, right?
Yeah.
Right? Guys, for Elise G and Marco Carlson, for Buddy, Money, Thayer, it's me, Mike Leopard King, Mike Gill. This was Legit Paranormal Vacation Plan is brought to you by Legit Paranormal, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again next Tuesday. We're done and out.